Okay.
Oh, shit. Okay, finally.
Wow.
Great. This is Free Range American, right? I mean, John Dudley's original show name, trademark that brand
Yes.
that we got from you and the CEO and founder of Black Rifle Coffee, Andy Stumpf. In his name, Andy.
Andy, thank you for all you've done
for all you've done.
I'm gonna have a drink.
None of this would be possible without you and your wise seal wisdom. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. We're in a pretty free-rangey situation right here, looking at the mountains of Big Sky and next to Dudley's beautiful trailer.
Yeah.
In a parking lot.
Well,
the sheen off his white legs is it's giving me LASIK surgery right now. It's like blasting me in the eye.
How awesome.
It is. It's not a bad thing to wake up to.
Outside.
Yeah.
Campfire.
Logan
Sky mountain.
Logan rolled over this morning and he was like, "Hey man, look at that mountain." And I was like, "Yeah, that's fucking beautiful." Did everybody get that joke?
No.
You rolled over in bed this morning and you're like, "Hey man, look at that mountain." And then that's when John was like, "Yeah, it's amazing. Now get back in bed." It's a stupid
Thank you.
joke.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Now that we've checked the
one
humor
thing he
box.
didn't roll over was the winder on his watch.
Boy, I'll tell you.
We could have had 17 podcasts done by the time Logan finally ran up here in his shorties and got his sweaty clothes off. And then finally, I mean, I'm having lunchtime coffee right now.
Yeah.
You and I have had, 40 pots?
I've had a lot of coffee this morning. We decided to make some tactical Sasquatch. I made it up above us. I made some there. Came down, made another cup down here. So I was making it out of the V60, which the Hario V60 is an awesome pour over device. We have at least 6 of them in the camper for some reason. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but you're like 6 Hario V60 pour overs and there's no scale. So
we're roughing it. We don't need a scale.
We're roughing it. We're roughing it up here in Big Sky with no scales. Just looking at our coffee to weigh it. This is fucking crazy. We're getting crazy.
I made my French press this morning with a big soup ladle.
Oh, nice.
It just barely fit into my bag, and I just like scooped it out. I'm like, that looks about right.
Yeah.
And then if I can, honestly, my workout was pressing down my French press. That was my morning.
You gotta get rid of that French press, man.
Why?
It's disgusting.
It's awful. It's not the way to do it.
Well, I don't know. For simplicity, I like it.
Oh, well, we can make you something better.
We have some interesting scene props here. It looks like a NASCAR fuel canister. I don't know if it has vodka, piss, or possibly gas in it.
Yeah.
There's a groundhog target.
Yep.
That really hasn't been shot. He's just standing there next to at least an 80-pound kettlebell.
That is definitely not 80 pounds.
What is it?
It's 30.
It's a 35er.
Pood though, or pounder?
No,
Pounder.
It must be made out of aluminum.
But it was
it's big.
Pood. Well, because it's the standard uniform
The standard
kettlebell
pood?
size for competition. It's competitive.
Competitive
yeah,
kettlebells.
So they just fluctuate the.
I never went pro, so I guess I would.
I did. It's no big deal. Several years back. I don't like to talk about it because of all the trauma that is directly associated with
mainly because one that's that tall, you can't actually get it off the ground in full extension, or
it's a short joke.
That's a super fucking funny joke, John.
All right, we're doing total archery challenge here in Big Sky, Montana. Dudley, you just finished up in Colorado.
Yeah, it was awesome. Everybody wanted to get the heck out of their house and get up in the mountains. And it was like, you know how normally when you go up a ski lift, there's like bras and stuff on trees. like, you know, when you go up.
Yeah.
There was like COVID masks, like for like as soon as people cleared the village, they just wanted to breathe air and breathe life again. But it was an awesome event. And this one's totally sold out. This one's massive again. Set the range yesterday. It's gonna eat some lunch.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why either one of us shouldn't own an arrow business right now.
Well, I think I brought 30 arrows, give or take.
That'll last a course and a half then.
Well, I didn't plan on shooting the entire course. I just brought enough that I could get like halfway through.
I've got that rock chuck.
Yeah.
We put him on a huge blowdown, so he's about 6 feet up in the air. We drilled into the blowdown so that we could put the rebar through the log, and he's sitting between two trees on a log that's like 5 feet up in the air at like 56.
Wow.
So that's going to be a little plethora.
That's going to fucking suck.
That'll be great.
I brought my wife. I brought my kids out. My wife started shooting a bow. She started shooting a traditional bow like 4 or 5 months ago. Finally convinced her that she needed to do upgrade her situation.
Yeah.
And
put some training wheels on that.
Yep. So I'm calling her my 2.0 version now because she's shooting a bow, and I kind of like it. I like it. I like being able to like go out, shoot my bow. We stayed out late the other night, which was like 8:00 with the kids, shooting bows and partying with Logan Stark. Logan was out there.
Watch fireworks that late.
Almost, yeah.
Well, I love and you showed up to the BRC compound the other day, but especially with everything like mostly in lockdown right now, it's just like when you were deployed. Like we've got our little BRCC fob, like this nice little prison gym. We can shoot. We could probably push back to
200.
200.
I pushed back to the gate and ranged it, so you can go past the gate.
Is the gate to the back target?
You're 200.
Yeah, it's about 200.
Holy
probably,
smokes, dude!
Yeah. You can get 200
get after
in there.
it.
Yeah. Because we went back to 120, right? 110.
We did 110.
Yeah, 110.
The other day.
And we got to get some better targets. So we're actually in the process of getting some better targets.
I think
Sean told me he's going to give me some the old
I like it.
Total Archery Challenge 3Ds that he just doesn't want.
It'd be cool for you to do like some recycled coffee sacks and stuff into like a big. You could pack those burlap sacks like into some type of a target and like compress it down. At least for those long shots, just have a 4-footer.
I've done the first archery target we ever had.
You used to send me pictures shooting coffee bags.
I've done it. For a trad bow, it works great. What I discovered was nor can I have the strength required to pack coffee bags in a burlap coffee bag enough that it stops an arrow from a compound bow.
Yeah.
It just smokes right through it, which is interesting because what happens when an arrow goes through a burlap sack and it hits a concrete wall is that it might stick in the wall and you have a really difficult time getting it out, from what I've heard anyway. It's what the kids talk about on the streets.
Yeah. I've been there. I've tried a number of makeshift targets in my day. A couple that work well in hotel rooms are a Converse All-Star folded in half.
Ooh,
very
nice.
good. The soles stop arrows nicely at 5 yards.
Wow.
Folded over mattresses.
Yep.
With a couple belts works well. What doesn't work well are like your sofa couch pillows. The headboard don't work well.
No,
but
feathers
a little
are bad.
tip. Pro tip.
Yep.
This is free ranging. So if you're out free ranging, you try archery in a hotel and realize, oh shit, that went through the wall. Toothpaste just covers it right up.
Yeah.
What about where did the arrow go? What goes through your head as the arrow goes through the wall into the next room?
When it went through a headboard into the headboard next door, that's when I realized you always want to shoot towards an exterior wall.
Got it.
Just in case it does go out. It goes out, not in.
Right.
Pro tip number 2 for the day.
Yeah.
All right. Laying down some good knowledge over here.
Pro tip.
I remember somebody telling me a story about practicing CQB indoors, and they would put phone books stacked on top of each other. Was that you? Was that you that used to do that?
Pro tip. Don't ever do that because it is very dangerous, and you have to be a very competent professional to go to the post office and take 30 to 40 phone books and create blocks with duct tape where you duct tape 4 or 5 of them together, and then you practice clearing your house with them with a
I just love this
suppressed
picture in my head, like 20-something Evan Hafer, and he's just got like 4 or 5 phone books stacked on top of each other, duct taping them to the wall.
No, I wasn't duct taping them to the wall. I just create bricks. So I just duct tape like 4 of them and create these like giant phone
and then
book
just
bricks.
set them on something.
Yeah, and then I'd be working my way through the house, making sure that
22.
Oh yeah, no, I mean a 22. It doesn't even like I
wouldn't
depends,
even say
right?
It
it's
doesn't
like
even get an inch of penetration. I imagine.
No, it does. Yeah, it gets an inch for sure.
Like Demolition Ranch was doing. He did a pillow test the other day in one of his videos, and the 22 only made it through like 3 pillows. It got stopped on the 4th one, I think.
I tried that, and it went through the pillows that I was using, which is why I upgraded to the phone book situation.
When you're shooting groups like you, I mean, same hole all the time, those pillows just aren't going to hold up. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Same hole all the time.
Yeah, it's so accurate. True. So true. I was, that was a 22 conversion Glock. So I had the 22 so you can swap out the barrels and then run it. And then it was interesting because during that time when I would have people over, they would see all these weird phone books and stuff in the house. And then one time I had this girl over and she pulled out the dishwasher, and I would just take my suppressor apart and like put it in the dishwasher to clean it. She's like, "What the fuck is this?" It's like, "Oh, that's a suppressor." Needless to say, I didn't see her again because some reason she was freaked out that I had
had a suppressor in the dishwasher.
Yeah,
I would think she would be impressed because she's like, "Look at how clean this guy is."
I am. I am very clean.
Maintenance.
Yeah,
in all regards.
Yeah.
Speaking of weird things you find in a dishwasher, my freshman year, my freshman year, red shirt, they had me rooming with one of the linemen, and we were like, they had these different like little apartments and stuff. So I got put with one of the linemen, and I moved all in, and I went to like go in the dishwasher, and here's this like big old Papa Smurf extender that like gave that chode just a little bit more of what he wanted.
Yeah.
And it was in the dishwasher. And I was just like, okay, this is not
Papa Smurf extender. Okay.
Yeah. It was like a chode went into the back of it, and then it gave you a full blue.
Yeah. Full
Papa Smurf.
Yep. Full meal.
And what's crazy is when I went to leave school, my dad, and this is back when, I left school to pursue archery full time. I told both my parents, like, I'm not going to do school. I'm going to go work for this archery shop. I'm going to start shooting and everything. And even though my dad said that's a terrible idea, we did it. And he said, "Well, when are you going to pack up?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to move out like this Saturday at noon or whatever." And he's like, "Okay, I'll be there at noon." So me and my mom drove down together to like get all my stuff in true military dad fashion. We rolled up at like 11:45. All my shit was like packed into pillowcases and lined up like perfectly out on the lawn in front of the house, like ready to go in my mom's minivan. And I said, I'm a little bit worried about what he found in my room and stuff. And he kind of pulls me to the side and he goes, "Hey, are you into drugs?" And I said, "Well, not really." And he goes, "Well, I found this pot pipe." And I'm like, "Well, I've smoked pot." And then he's like, "All right, well, like, don't let it go any further than that." And I said, "Okay." And then he pulled out and he goes, "What's this?" And he pulls out Papa Smurf because he like went through the whole thing, and anything that
good idea
looked like it, I guess that looked like it was mine, he grabbed. And I just said, "That is not mine." And he just kind of like dropped it on the ground. He's like, "Okay." But yeah, I've never seen stuff like a full suitcase full of stuff packed so tightly and perfectly in a pillowcase, but it looked like a bunch of green army bags, like freaking packed that tight out on the front lawn.
I've yet to meet your dad. I'd like to meet him one of these days. Have you ever had him on a podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have. He kind of clams up a little bit, and I don't know. He's funny when he doesn't. He's hilarious when he's just like doing his thing.
Right.
It's like once you turn a camera or put a microphone in front of him, he kind of gels up a little bit. But he's definitely interesting.
Yeah.
I think Harry and his friends like FaceTime him on weekends. Like
really?
When they want to laugh at night, they like call Grandpa Charlie.
Yeah. My dad and I have a very strange relationship because he also works for Black Rifle. So I have to tell him what to do, but then he tells me no. And there's nothing I can do about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you were to go back through and look at the text thread between your dad and me, it just says, "Fuck you, Logan." No, "Fuck you, Ed."
Yep.
"Fuck you, Logan." That's all our text thread is.
Mm-hmm. That's the same as ours.
Yeah.
Today was his birthday, and I called him.
I'm going to text him right now.
And
is it really his birthday?
Yeah. So today was his birthday. I called him, and I was like, "Hey, I got a great surprise." And he's like, "Oh, really?" And I was like, "Yeah. It's Logan's birthday, so I'm planning a big surprise party for him, and I've like rented a bunch of like a condo for him out in the beach and stuff, and I'm just really super involved with this planning process for Logan, and it's just like I really want to make it special for him, and like he just means so much to me, and like everything that he does for the company and stuff." And my dad was like, "Well, it must be nice for Logan." And I was like, "All right, well, I just wanted to tell you it's Logan's birthday. I'm super involved with this planning process, so I might be out of pocket for a couple days." "Oh, is that all? Is that all you had?" And I was like, "Yep, that's all I had." And then I hung up on him. And then I texted him happy birthday afterwards.
I was thoroughly impressed how freaking witty and sharp your dad was.
Dude, he is a spry chicken. How old is he now? 75?
75 going on 90.
Yeah, man, he can still
statement.
get around the mountains. It's pretty impressive. Like we just went up to the Clearwater, and he's with us every step of the way. It's pretty cool. He can probably outlast.
Hey, bro, we were in the middle of nowhere in BC moose hunting, and Evan dumps this moose, and he's like, kind of at dawn on him, like, "So how do you get all this back?" Like once he realized how big it was, and fast forward like 23 hours later, freaking Pops is sitting over at the boat landing, which who knows how he even got the pin or how the freaking GPS got him there, because half the place doesn't even have a signal. And he's freaking just sitting there, dude, freaking hair combed back, looking like he got some booty the night before and just ready to
get. He called me, or he was waiting. He was on standby I had him loitering. He had some Canadian pie that he was down, diving into for like a week just on standby. He was QRF for moose.
Dang.
So he kept texting me every day. He's like, I got to get the fuck out of here. This bitch is going to drive me crazy. And I was like, man, just relax. I haven't killed anything. He's like, well, you need to fucking kill something because this chick is going to fucking ruin my life. Like, I got to get the fuck out of here. So he was like, he was keyed up. He wanted to get the fuck out of the situation he was in. That's why he found the place. And that's why he was like so hot, like right there, because
he was hot.
He had a bunny boiler situation going on.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I texted him a grid and he was there. He was like, oh yeah, I'm there.
He was there right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the funny situation in that is, so we got that moose quartered and put in the back, and my dad and I were driving back, and to this day we still argue over who got whom lost. So my dad and I are driving back, and we fucking took a detour that like added another 3 hours to a 20+ hour trip.
Where did you go? Where did you end up? I don't know if I heard this part.
Yeah, because he was telling me, he's like, well, I got to go through here, and he's still using a GPS.
Oh,
he's still using a GPS. He's not using a fucking phone. I'm like, dude, you got to fire up your phone. You got to use your phone because it plugs into your truck, and because my dad's trying to navigate using this old Garmin. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like,
I mean, that
here's
doesn't
your
surprise
phone.
me.
Huh?
That doesn't surprise me.
No, he was straight up using a Garmin.
Just following river systems.
Yeah, he's like, well, and I'm like, dude, you're not flying a plane. Pull out your fucking phone. And so he took this detour. According to him, it was because of this damn phone you had trying to run us all over the place. So he's back using his GPS. He just uses a GPS now.
That doesn't surprise me.
No.
It was so funny to see you guys when we were up at the Clearwater. Like, Ed was fishing with his spinning reel, and you were fly fishing, and like there was the father-son competition between you two is amazing to witness because it is so intense. And Ed caught 2 fish, and we didn't have anything for the bucket, and Evan fished until he got 2 fish.
Yeah.
And his dad was just, the whole time you were out there on the water, your dad was just giggling the whole time.
Yeah. Well, he's a prick. And I don't let him win. I don't let him get one over, man. Like, I don't
just keep that tie.
Yeah. Well, I had to catch something bigger. That was the whole. Because he's like, well, I didn't show you the ones I threw back. I'm like, oh, of course. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Does he ever genuinely complain about a task you put him on like that? That was actually bullshit to put your dad on.
Yeah, he complains a lot. That's one thing he doesn't.
But he's super spicy. Like,
yeah.
So that's one of the reasons where I always classify my default emotion as anger. It has nothing to do with the war or, fucking the military. I was raised the latter part of my life by my dad, and he was just kind of a fucking, like, he gets spun up and he gets like really spicy. Well, that's where I learn it. I learned it from watching you, Dad. I'll have to bring him down off his like spin up sessions because he'll come in and be like, I can't fucking believe this goddamn contractor out here, and I'm like, dude. That's a $200 project. Like, just fucking calm down. It's not worth you having a brain aneurysm over a guy that's installing a light switch. Oh, he's 15 minutes late. When you tell a guy you're going to be there at a time, I'm like, yeah, once again, man, the guy's coming out to, replace a fucking light switch. Like, I'm surprised he even showed up on the right day.
Yeah, dial it back a little.
Dial it back. Here, smoke some of this. Maybe you might calm down a little bit. No, he's an interesting guy, but he I don't know if he complains. That's probably not the right word. I don't know what complaining is.
Yeah, he enjoys bitching.
Yeah, he professionally
he works
bitches
so
about
hard.
something.
Yeah.
He
Right?
just he's got to get some bitching off his chest every once in a while. You
Well,
know? It's human nature. It's fine.
With COVID, it's given me a great opportunity to just tell him to stay home, and he gets so fucking pissed off at me because he'll call me. We're putting a new afterburner in our roaster in Salt Lake, so afterburner burns off all the excess smoke and essentially creates clean air. No big deal. But he wants to come down to help on the install. I keep telling him, no, absolutely not. You're coming down because he's got some lung issues. And it's like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to be doing up here? I'm like, man, I don't know. Like maybe go take your 4-wheeler out into the woods. I don't fucking know, man. Like there's a million things for you to do other than work. So stop. Just go fuck off. Does it matter? You're 70 plus years old. Like you'll make it up to me. Who gives a shit?
I'm curious on this father-son elk hunt. This is going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
Have you elk hunted with him before?
Yeah, but
Have you guys got one?
Maybe.
Huh?
I've been 14, like when I was 14, maybe.
Did you get anything?
Time. Not on the last one. I think
Okay.
it was like 9.
So this is for sure going to happen. Like he's going to have an opportunity.
Yeah, and I'm using my grandfather's rifle and he's using his dad's rifle.
Oh, sweet.
So I'm using my grandfather.
What is it?
It's like a Remington
30-06. You know it.
Carbine.
Freaking core locks. Like
Dude,
off. Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Like
What kind of scope? Like Simmons probably or something?
No, he had like a older like Reddington or it's like some off brand.
Yeah.
That thing rode in the back of my grandpa's 73 Ford truck for as long as I can remember.
What color? Like seafoam green?
No, it was red.
Oh.
My dad and my grandfather both had the exact same truck. My grandfather on my mother's side. They were really good friends. And they both had the same exact truck. And I remember that so well, that rifle. And because I remember at this point in my life, I understand what he was doing now. But he was out of season with no tags. I think what they call that is
starts with a P.
He starts with a P, but
ends in a G.
Yeah.
just
he used to
if anyone wants to fill in the
he used to
blanks.
always be like, "Well, you get this thing in the back of the truck. Got to get it in the back of the truck real fast. Got to get it in the back of the truck real fast." Yeah. So I don't think he never looked at it as he was breaking the law. He just looked at it as
making
the
the law.
laws didn't really apply to him.
He thought the song was making the law,
Making the law.
Okay.
But technically speaking, he was also a judge in the town. So
Of
I
course.
think, I don't know how that would work. You know what I mean? He was like a grave digger,
Probably pretty well.
judge,
Probably
water
pretty
and
well.
sewer guy. I think he just didn't really give a shit.
Was this Weeyipe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
My grandpa was the exact same. It was a Remington 30-06. I got it. Had like a 3-power, like single power
Yeah.
freaking Simmons scope on it. And it looks like he had like stripped out the scope ring screws about 4 different times because like one's a flathead, one's a Phillips head,
Yeah.
one's like a nut.
Yep.
But dude, you go buy a pack of freaking standard 180 grain core lock, Remington core locks for that thing, and just dump stuff all day long with that rifle.
Yeah. I don't, I'm debating whether to put a suppressor on it.
Nah.
You know, like I kind of want to, but then I'm like, nah, just shoot it the way it was, you know, but because it still has his original
Leather sling on it.
Yeah. But, and then my uncle did the leather work on it. So it's it's this big elk with
Yep.
like a
Sounds
full
like the same
scene.
thing.
It's so fucking cool, man.
Squeaking ass,
Oh,
the freaking sling hinges. Like every time you walk, it's like that's it, dude. I think somehow I borrowed your rifle
Seriously.
for most of my childhood. Yeah, 100%.
Well, I can't wait, man. I'm so excited for this because Matt's dad, Roger, is a little bit older than my dad. Matt, I mean, if he can stay healthy, we need to start calling him like the Tin Man or something because he just breaks everything all the time. He breaks his foot.
He gets after it. He likes to do his late night training sessions, and that's when it always
training sessions.
It always seems to happen.
Yeah. Man, I wasn't doing anything. I just had a couple cocktails. That always starts. I just had a couple cocktails. And then what happens is the true story comes out about 2 months later. It's like, oh, fuck. I was blind, raging drunk. And I decided to jump my razor over the river. That's like the real story.
Yep. That's definitely how it happens. Mm-hmm. Once you hit our age, you need, like, if you're going to do extracurricular activities like that, you need to be diligent about hot tub, stretching, nothing after 3 o'clock. Otherwise, you're blowing a bicep, tearing an ACL, a meniscus is going, like something's going to happen. That's just how it is.
Coffee or Die is Black Rifle Coffee Company's premier online magazine, and we're going wherever we need to tell you the stories you want to hear.
I was talking to my buddy Tim a couple days ago, and he just rode across the Atlantic, and it's that guy's 40 plus years old, and man, he is like rowing across the fucking Atlantic. He banged his knee getting into the boat on the way to go out and do this and like hurt himself. I'm like, because that's what I was asking him about. I'm like, dude, how the fuck do you go that far without hurting yourself at like 47 years old? You know what I mean? He's like, I don't know.
You know, some of it, the people that don't hurt themselves are the people that never stop long enough to get stiff.
Yeah.
It's like, when I get hurt is when I have my routine at home, and then I come on the road like this, and I'm not lifting every day.
Right.
I'm not like, as soon as something in the routine slows and then you have to start it back up, something like breaks down because it's not used to that movement.
Well, you got your new website up now, right?
Oh yeah.
And you got like a whole fitness section.
Yeah.
There.
Did with Bert. Yeah.
You did it with
Nock Fit.
Yeah. You're calling it Nock Fit?
Yeah. It's pretty inventive, I thought.
Nock Fit. I like that.
So do you just
Nock Fit.
Yeah.
Do you just take your name for your brand and then just add whatever you're doing to the other half instead of Nock on?
No,
so it's like,
no, you don't do that.
You don't do
you
that?
have to, so you take your name.
Right.
You take half of the name off.
Got it.
But then put half of another name on
got
it.
Okay. Got it.
What is your morning routine these days, Dud? As far as
I get up about
warming up
5 normally, and like first thing I do is coffee, 100%. I normally do like 1 Chemex, and I'll do that in my hot tub in the morning. I'll like make that.
You make that out of hot tub water?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
good.
Way better.
Okay, good. It's clean.
Yeah, very clean.
It's real nice.
Chlorinated. So I'll normally have like a full 2 cups of coffee in the hot tub, and I'll kind of go through some DMs. And then once I've like spent that 30 or 40 minutes on like that, then I get up and normally make 1 more and then head out and work out. I like to work out before, like right as the sun's coming up, kind of.
Do you have a sauna in your gym?
I don't, but we're getting one.
Are you?
Yeah, Sharon and I want one pretty bad.
Good.
Just, I mean, because I do struggle with inflammation. Just the older I get, it feels like when I wake up, it takes me longer to like get things lubricated and moving. And yeah, Rogan's super adamant about it. He's like, dude, you got to get one of these. So we've kind of cleaned out one of our smaller rooms in the house, and we're going to get one put in there.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've been doing the sauna almost every single day.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Are you doing the infrared one though? Or
Yep. We've got one in our gym now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Is it the bomb? Diggity?
Oh, it's so amazing.
It only goes to 140. So I got to figure out, I think
Joe's doing like 2 something,
Yeah,
right?
I think he said 180.
200. But I think we can take the governor off of it. I've been reluctant. I'm going to take the governor off of it like before Logan gets in there. And
You know what we could do?
I'll be the
tape
test
him
dummy
in.
for that. Yeah.
All we need to do is call Nick up in BC and figure out what he built that cabin out of.
Yep.
And if you put more than 6 logs in that bitch, I'll guarantee you
That thing is like 200.
Dude, all day long.
200.
Yeah, we had this deal where once people realized how out of control your cabin could get with heat, it was like
We called it the Fire Wars.
Yeah, it was the Fire Wars of BC, where you would be totally shot at night, having a cocktail out in the main cabin. And then all of a sudden, Evan would like walk in from like his bathroom break with like, and he'd kind of look at Andy. And then I would kind of look over at Dusty and be like, okay, something's just happened.
Something's awry.
And then you finish your meal, you're totally shot, you're ready to just get some sleep, you roll into your cabin.
And it's
and
like
literally
300
your
degrees.
freaking eyebrows melt off your head. And you're like, I had 2 pairs of boots. They were 13s when I went. Both of them were like 10 and a half from how they melted the whole sole down because of how freaking hot those 2 got our cabin roaring.
Well, what we were doing, because the Andy Stumpf and John Barklow, John was in the other cabin. John's the product development guy for Sitka. And
you had Trevor. Trevor, Andy, Evan.
Me, Trevor, Thompson, and Andy. And then it was you, Dusty, and Barklow, right?
Yeah.
Well, the problem is that Andy declared war on the internal cabin mates first. So I was in a fucking sauna and Andy's like in his sleeping bag, like what looks or what it appears to be at the time is he's still cold. While I'm next to the fireplace, I am fucking naked on top of my bed, sweating profusely.
You were in your undies, dude.
Sweating profusely, going, what the fuck? And I'd like wake up and get out and like open the door. And it took me till, I think it might have been the second night is when Andy started chuckling. And I was like, this motherfucker. So what he was doing, and I asked him, I said, how are you in your sleeping bag? This is not possible because it's still really hot inside our little cabin. He's like, I just wanted to see how long it would take you to crack. You know, how long it was going to take you to open the door. I'd have to go outside in the middle of the night.
Sit out on the
deck.
Ass black grizzly
with
bear
the
deck.
fucking door open. I'd open up all the doors. Everything that we could. And Trevor was yelling at him. Like Trevor and I, it's like both like 3 a.m. we're both yelling at Andy like, stop fucking putting wood in the fireplace, you fucking asshole. That's how it started. And then we were like, oh, you know what? Let's
I keep hearing
throw that in
stories about this BC trip. I'm gonna have to get.
Hey,
in
are
on
we
one of
going
these.
this year, or is it not because of COVID?
I think we have to text Trudeau real quick and see if he's going to let us in.
Yeah, because we can't go to Canada, right?
Right. Well, you can if you like. Sure, we could figure out like be business related, but from what I saw, you have to download this Canadian government app that goes on your phone. So when you cross the border, they track the location of your phone for 14 days and you have to be in one spot. And the rules are pretty idiotic. The rules say you're not allowed to even stop at a gas station, like 2-year quarantine. So like, how's that going to work? You know,
I guess we could just load up our
total
trucks
idiotic
with gas.
rules. But yeah, that's the bummer is we've got a lot of friends in Canada and a lot of them rely on outfitting for their income. I mean, they're really getting put in a bad way right now, as are a lot of Americans too. But yeah, that's, I'll be pumped to get back up there again just because it's literally like this, but
like
the only
years
camper
ago.
that would be here would be these two. And everything we're looking at is, if you're looking at anything, it would be like a bear going across the hillside. Like you definitely wouldn't have this guy bombing around with his trailer bouncing all around and cones falling out the back. It would be legit. If there's smoke, it's from your campfire and that's it. I mean, on the water, it's like the only ripples that there is on the water is if you throw a lure out there on it. It's just so freaking remote. It's awesome.
It is pretty amazing. I can't wait to get back there, really. I really can't wait to get back there. Like I want to go very badly. And I think Logan would be a good addition to it.
Oh, man.
Don't you think?
Yeah, you would totally dig it.
John, because there was the was it the Nock on Space Force was conceived out there in Moose Camp.
The
I tend
Nock
to time
on
travel
Space Force
during successful hunts. I tend to time travel.
He can put down enough fireball that would kill a herd of moose.
If if everything in your body is fireball, it actually flows nice. It's like you don't want to mix diesel and gas.
State. Yeah, it's a Zen state.
Yeah, you just like once you start, you got to just keep that IV going.
I was concerned he might actually catch fire himself.
That's what I was worried about when you guys kept stoking our fire in the room. I was more worried about this 80 proof bloodstream I had freaking just blowing up from the inside out.
Yeah.
There's something about getting something that big on the ground though. Like it's hard. That's what made it so awesome for all of us is because me and Trevor's bull was at least a day, maybe a day and a half to get those two bulls out.
Yeah.
Then Dusty, when I forgot my camera or something for my camera back where we had got my bull out of this freaking pond that Dusty, we flipped a coin. Dusty swam it across this pond while it was still bloated.
Yeah, because you guys like put that in a canoe or something, right?
Oh, yeah, we had to. Mine, we swam across the lake whole. We didn't have a canoe. Now, Trevor's...
Yeah. Let me tell you the real story.
Trevor's, they had to cut in half and swim across.
Let me tell you the real story.
Okay.
John was like, I ain't getting in that water. Dusty, drink some of this fireball, and I guarantee... I don't even know if you can do this. I don't even think you can. I don't even think you can swim across there. I know I can, but I don't know if you can. So I think you need to prove yourself out here.
That story's part right. What actually happened was Dusty was with the moose. I just kind of said, hey, I'm going to be gone a few minutes. Just chill here. I walked to the other side of the lake and I just kind of held the fire bottle up and like kind of slowly started sipping on it. And Dusty knew if he didn't swim across with that moose fast enough, the bottle was going to be gone.
Yeah, that's a good enticement there.
Yeah.
But the cool thing was I forgot something for my camera. So we went back the next morning and when we went down in there was a freaking bull down there. Like he had heard all the calling the day before and obviously traveled. And I shot mine with the bow. So he was like there thinking there's a hot cow in the area. So Dusty freaking dumped that one. So then we had to repeat that process. And luckily we had used that crappy canoe to get Trevor's out the night before. So that canoe was about like 10 miles down the road. So when we dumped it, Dusty and I went and got that canoe, strapped it to the roof, and then we paddled across that same swamp, had to cut the bull in half, load it half at a time in the canoe. And it looked like, Dusty looked like, have you ever watched Shallow Hal?
Oh,
when he's trying to canoe across and he's like up in the air. That's what it looked like. Like Dusty's, the front of the canoe is like 2 feet off the water, and Dusty's like trying to scrape some water to get him and half that moose across. And then we got the other half out. And after that was 3 moose in 3 days. And we thought the party had just ended. And then all of a sudden the call comes in, Evan's bull's down. So it was like...
Mine was the most difficult, though. Mine was the most difficult because he was standing on the road 97 yards away and just looking at me. And I think he might have even whispered, "Shoot me." And that was basically...
Take me now.
Take me now. And he walked a grand total of about 27 yards before he fell down. It's really hard. Yeah. So there's like a super cool story with a canoe and swimming across and everything. That's
Yours
nothing
cool,
compared
though.
to...
Yours got cool with the Forerunner.
Yeah,
going up a BC embankment about like this with a moose lassoed to the back of it.
As it was coming off sketchy. The ground, we had that Forerunner and we had to get speed going with the fucking moose dragging behind it as we like pitched it up, and then it the front wheels came off the ground. It's like setting down. And we had some really good, like Ashley was a really good guide, man.
Oh, dude,
he was super
awesome.
Fun. Like
did he have shoes on for your kit for your?
Yeah, but he didn't have shoes
bare
for
feet.
a while.
I'm talking like moose hunt, frost, like frozen.
It's cold.
Frozen puddles, like frost on stuff. And he got his boots wet like the first day of the hunt. Yeah. And then he pulled our moose and his moose he helped, or Trevor's moose he helped. And he was barefoot. Like I think one of his boots like fell off in the water or something, but he was barefoot for a whole day. And I'm talking, you're wearing almost everything you got.
Yeah.
And he was barefoot, like pulling moose out of this crap. And not to mention, it's not like the ground is like a nice, lush green golf fairway. It's like devil's tail, freaking thistles. Dude.
Yeah, but he's that guy, right? He's what we consider a crazy person. He had a business down in California. He sold the business, moved to Canada.
What was the business?
It was a landscaping business, construction and landscaping. And then he moved to Canada, bought 40 acres, built his own house.
Yeah.
It's like a 6,000 square foot house. Grows all his own food, like has
and other things,
everything. Yeah, he
grows
and his own medicinal, recreational things that he needs to survive. The guy is just kind of a throwback to a different era, and I really enjoy people like that because they shift a paradigm. Everybody kind of fits this mold. They have their lives. They do these things. They kind of go from step to step. And then you meet a guy like Ashley and you're like, oh, this dude's fucking weird, but he's a good weird.
Yeah.
Like a really good weird where you're like, man.
You realize he's actually doing everything that just makes him happy.
Yeah.
And that's what makes him weird is the fact that like he just freaking thinks it's cool to just run around in bare feet.
Yeah.
And
well, it seems really smart right now with the way everything is.
Oh,
like,
dude,
why do you want to be in the city?
100% legit.
Like, that's what I want to do. I want to go make a compound out in the woods and grow my own food. And
he doesn't even know there's a pandemic going on.
There's no way he knows
has
there's
zero
COVID.
impact.
He probably some shit started happening on the news. He probably went over and like unplugged his sat and was like, "Fuck it, I'm done with this.
I'm done.
Oh yeah,
I'm all good.
You guys wear your masks. I'm just gonna be out here."
But I will say that trip. BC, being out there because it is so remote and it's so interesting to be out there because you got Grizz, you got Black Bear, you got everything's out there.
Everything's
out there. And it reminded me of being in Northern Idaho as a kid.
Yeah.
Where it's just the logging industry for the most part.
Yep.
Because it's basically all logging roads.
Yeah, that's all you're on is deacted logging roads.
Yeah. And there's nobody else out there. I don't think we saw another person the entire time we were out there other than like
that one
maybe
other
on
group
the landing.
That one other group that on the boat. And then I think Ashley told them where to go to get a moose. Remember? And they came back because they got one.
Yep.
They were super jacked.
Yeah. So I love places like that. I wish I could spend more time in places like that because a week or 10 days just wasn't even enough. I don't think 10 days is enough or is just enough
to learn the routine.
Yeah.
You just know your routine of like, this is what I need to wear when I walk out of the cabin in the morning.
Yep.
Like, this is just enough. Or,
Next time, you know what we do is we drive up next time and we take our own boat. Take our own boat. Because that fucking boat that Nick had that's like couldn't get up on plane. There's like 4 of us in there. And it's like, oh man, my this jet engine is sputtering and spitting. And I was like, dude. Well, he had two boats.
Yeah.
One.
Both of them had their own issues.
Yeah.
That is the one thing with the BC hunt, you can be assured is something is going to break down.
Yeah.
And he's actually good. He like maintains stuff.
I like Nick.
Yeah. That stuff was good. I've been places where the boat barely starts and then you go and then he's like, oh, it's cool. And you go hunt and then you're knowing all day hunting. That is not starting again.
Yeah. Making the observation, he's not a boatman. That's all.
Well, I remember Trevor showed me those photos when he had his moose loaded in, and it was like, that thing was like inches above the water.
Oh, yeah.
And Ashley couldn't swim. The guide was like, oh, I don't know how to swim. He's probably just fucking with Trevor.
Yeah, it was a perfect week. It was actually a perfect representation of moose hunting where there's certain days where just everything clicks and the moose are responsive and like, because we had days where it was like raining and they don't like rain. And then all of a sudden that one day that we woke up, it was clear. The puddles were all frosted over. There was frost all across the swamps. It was like that day didn't because Barklow missed an opportunity, right? I thought we got 3 bulls in like 20 hours or something. Yeah. And then yours came one day after that. But it took us a while it was like 3 or 4 days in before all of a sudden everything clicked.
I have a piece of that moose here. My wife put some on the Traeger and we brought it down. It was interesting. So my wife, for whatever reason, is getting nicer. The longer we're married, she gets nicer towards me for some reason. I don't understand why. I think she's got some angle that she's trying to fucking work. I'll figure it out.
Is it because you're not shooting at phone books in the house anymore? You actually have a range at work where you can do that?
I think she's like trying to get something, Like, I don't know what she wants. Like, maybe she wants like, a long-lasting, loving relationship or some shit. I don't know. Whatever.
Weird.
But
super weird.
Sounds sketchy.
Sure. Yeah, it sounds sketchy as fuck, right? Yeah, it's
just
sketchy.
From the outside
she's
looking
shady.
in.
She's shady.
From the outside
I gotta watch
looking
her.
in. Yeah.
Gotta watch her. So she cracked open this
moose fillet.
Yeah, roast. So she she smoked it in the Traeger for like 12 fucking hours. Yeah, however long. And then she cut it in really thin slices. And
like
then
moose beef.
Bro.
Dang.
So then she cracked that and then she sliced jalapeno cheese and gave me a dipping sauce for the road
Philly.
For the road yesterday.
Oh.
And I was really kind of taken aback by the whole thing. I was like, this is
what do you want here, lady?
Yeah, what the fuck is your angle?
Yeah. How dare you give me moo?
I told my kids, I was like, put your headphones on. I got to yell at your mom. And that's when I turned to her. I was like, what the fuck is your angle? She's like, I'm just trying to,
Yeah, you're just trying to come out here and podcast in the awesomeness. This
is a pretty awesome place, man. I'm excited to get this fucking week rolling, dude. We're gonna do like 3 or 4 different shows.
If people like archery, they have to come to a Total Archery Challenge.
They have to.
Yeah.
This is the event that is low key, laid back, 100% learn something, have a ton of fun.
And Sean's a great guy too.
Oh, dude.
Like Sean and his wife, they put on a heck of an event.
They're best. They're awesome for sure.
How many people are showing up to this? 1,800?
At least. I thought there were more.
$2,000?
Gosh, I'm
right.
freaking
Yeah, and I wanted to hear it from you, John. Why does this translate so well to do right before hunting season?
Well, I would say after 3/4 of the shots you make on this mountain, any hunting shot you make is going to seem like a freaking chip shot. That's what's fun is you get out here. You go in, there's no scorecards. There are, but no one takes them. You're just out there having fun. And honestly, if you lose an arrow with some of your buddies, like that's good for a laugh. It's not like you're taking it too serious. And like the fact that all this stuff got pushed back a few weeks this year, this is perfect for me because like, I think I did right about 15 or 16 miles on courses in Colorado. And then yesterday, our course is from the start to where you come out down on the road, but beneath the houses. It's like right at 4 miles. So just to do that, and you're doing it at a comfortable pace, it's not like you're humping it, but it's just good conditioning.
Yeah.
Just stepping over logs and, side hilling and kind of just getting the coordination of your footing. And honestly, we talked about this. I had a guy that used to work at the On It Academy. His name's Sam. He came out and we did some like mobility and stretching techniques that, I kind of put together a little program for my Nock Fit, which is a clever name. And it's mainly for people who do like tax or go on a hunt. You don't have any equipment, but normally by that 3rd day, you're tight. You're not able to like get around. And it just shows you some exercises that you can do to like open up your hips and your neck and stuff like that. But I feel like just getting out here and doing that stuff is so critical prior to season because you just can't really train for it. Like, even if you have stuff at home, you can ruck, you can do, like an echo bike or an assault bike. You can do all that stuff and it's great, but there's just something different about carrying your bow for 6 or 7 hours,
right?
Having a backpack on, just not being able to sit down at times, like all that stuff that's all real hunting stuff.
Yeah, the closest thing that mimics the actual act of going out.
Yeah.
Well, last year, I kind of got in trouble for it because I want to do full shakeout, right? So I want to do like full gear shakeout.
Yeah.
So I actually quartered one of the foam targets up there off the course and packed it out.
Which one was it? What'd you shoot?
That big moose.
Oh, okay.
Up there. So it was good training. I mean, the guys behind me didn't get to shoot it and it didn't taste very well on the trigger, but you know what? It was well worth it because I got to shake out all my gear.
Yeah, and now every hunt here on out is just going to be gravy.
Yeah, gravy. Yeah.
We might.
And I shot it right in the eyeball because that's where I like to aim.
You don't waste anything.
Yeah,
then.
Exactly. Yeah,
because a lot of times those eyeballs, I mean, you can eat them, but they're a little bit like kind of hard,
salty.
Yeah, salty. A lot of saline squirt kind of.
I like that. That's my favorite.
We should do a team effort and pack that sass out today.
Yeah, shoot it and fucking pack it out.
Yeah, sass.
Where's it at?
It's up there on the Yeti range. We didn't get the sass on our range this year. We replaced it with forgot what we replaced it with. But we've got we've got some cool shots for
Who
everybody.
set up the Yeti range?
Total Archery Challenge employees.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah. And then you have a range, and who else has a range?
Prime, Locals, Sitka.
Got it. Okay.
Technically, at this one, there's not room for a 5th range, so the knock-on range is actually the Sitka range. I just set it up for Sitka, which is pretty cool.
That's really nice of them.
Yeah, very
it's
nice
of you to do that for them.
Yeah.
Is Barklow coming out to this thing?
He will once the range is set up.
Right. Once the work is done.
Yeah.
Then you'll see John show up.
Once we break out alcohol and like there's food being grilled and everything, then he might come.
Yeah. So if we just have to grill, we have to start grilling, and then
he'll be chilling.
Okay, got it. Start grilling. John will be chilling. Got it. Because
I
texted him this morning.
John. You take the one name, you take half of it off. So grilling and chilling.
I texted him this morning with no response.
Oh, yeah.
So
if you text him, it's a 2-day wait time.
Yeah.
And then you'll just get an emoji back, probably like a cat face going like,
yeah.
Like, hey, dude, we're at TAC. What's happening?
Last
With
time
a
I
kitty
texted
cat.
him, he was like, this is Aaron Schneider. I don't know who this is. So he was trying to tell me that I was texting the wrong person, that I was texting Aaron Schneider. He's trying to throw me off the fucking trail.
Yeah.
He thinks that I'm trying to get free gear out of him, and that's absolutely not the case. I wanted discounted gear. It's a difference.
Yeah.
I just wanted it discounted at 100%.
For sure.
Right?
John, did you bring any tasty meat treats out here?
Yeah, what'd you bring?
I didn't bring a lot of tasty meat treats just because I knew we couldn't like officially serve up everyone because we had the 6-foot rule. So yeah, we're going to be more of a grocery store cookout here going. This is what we're going to have.
Here in like an hour, we're going to have
parking lot grill out party.
Yeah, we're going to have a little grill sesh. Love it.
Here in 58 minutes, I'm going to mix a cocktail.
58 minutes? That's what it's going to take you?
Hold on. Let me show you how this is done. Knocktail.
Oh, nice. Oh. Look at you. Okay. It's like you're a marketing genius or something.
Logan came out of his chair on that. He liked that. He's like, wow, that was amazing.
We need to develop content around that concept.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, this was Free Range from the Total Archery Challenge here at Big Sky, Montana, episode 1. Look forward to a couple more.
MT episode 1.
Yeah, MT.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks for finally having me, like,
dude,
40 podcasts in.
Finally.
John.
Well, we had to warm
up.
We had to warm up.
Yeah, now you know where you're going.
Yep,
that's where I want to be. I want to be on a designated path to excellence.
Yeah, exactly. I had fucking Andy on, though, like a month ago.
Oh, yeah. Of course. I mean, he invented every brand you're affiliated with. So, at some point, he has to be with you.
Well, I mean, he's the CEO. I gotta have the CEO of the company on.
CEO of Evan Hafer LLC?
Yeah, that's my LLC.
Awesome.
And my life.
Well, I'm out of coffee. I got to start up the grill. Let's boogie.
Let's do this.
See ya.